Alright, it looks like we are ready to go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I am your host, Adam. I'm one of the engine support techs up at Epic Games. So that means if you're ever on the Answer Hub or forums, you're usually talking to us if you're talking to a staff member. This stream is dedicated towards answering questions, specifically about blueprints, though I do dabble in landscape foliage, BSPs, some materials, very little animation, very little particle systems, very little code and other stuff too. If you have any questions about the editor whatsoever, please feel free to post them in chat, and as soon as I see them, I will at least try to acknowledge them or get to them, whatever I can do. Anyways, in the meantime, when we don't have questions, I usually work on random stuff that I have been asked about or just want to work on that day. And today just so happens to be one of those days where someone has asked me to work on something specific, which is AI. Of course. So, AI and I have a hate-hate relationship, if you did not know this. Um, it typically, I can get them moving sometimes, and other times they just seem to fall apart and die. So we're going to see how quickly I can become very angry at the AI system. Because behavior trees are very well done, I just don't understand them. I realize it is a fault of my own, not a fault with the system. I am terrible at the system. Because it's a different way of thinking is the problem. So we're gonna try. I don't know how far we're going to get before I lose my mind, but we're gonna try. That's the important thing. So here we are in our RPG template that we have put together a long time ago. Hey Victor! Oh my God, long time no see, man. How are you? That is awesome. Good to see you, sir. Let's see. So, RPG template. It is one that I was putting together for the marketplace. We kind of put it on pause because I got cold feet about it. Um, Mostly because there are so many good template projects on the marketplace. But this is kind of ours that's on so far. We have a main menu system when it starts up. We actually have it set up to where it has save and load data. We can come in, choose race, class, randomize that. Um, Once we finalize, we have a character sheet that goes off the screen because it's not properly set up. And let me stretch that out a little bit. Yep, right there. Right there, so I can show. Okay, so character sheet that shows our stat points, skill points, all kinds of stuff for talents and whatnot. We can increase and decrease those as necessary. Blah blah blah. And when we close this, it actually saves it, and we cannot go back. So that's pretty cool. We also have a experience system. Boom, that gives us skill points, that gives us access to different things. Hey James, how you doing? I am doing I'm doing all right. A little tired, a little hungry. Moved forward of an AI character. I got trolled by myself, and as you know, without going into behavior tree, is add movement input on tick is the only way to move something. Um, hmm, no, it's not the only way, especially if you want to avoid having your movement frame rate dependent. I would actually instead recommend setting that on a timer for the add movement input because you can control the movement of the actor much more fluidly so that like if a guy has like a faster frame rate or something like that, that it's not going to dramatically affect the gameplay, which is one of the problems with a lot of older games when you play them on higher spec PCs. Is a lot of the stuff is tick and frame rate dependent, so when you have computers that can handle much faster frame rates, all of a sudden you've got wonky AI, weird stuff going on, games that become practically unplayable simply because the frame rate's so high and that wasn't accounted for when the game was made because the technology just wasn't there. Um, and killed him. Okay. Anyways, so that's actually something I would actively avoid is setting up your movement on tick. At least personal opinion. Can't speak for anybody else. Then again, everyone knows I hate tick. I hate everything about tick. Tick is the bastard child of programming that I want to forget exists. But I know I can't because there are times when it is useful. Yeah, the add movement input is the important part for that. We're going to be working, hopefully, if I can get it off the ground, in behavior trees. But the important part of doing it without behavior trees is definitely the add movement input. Um, exactly, James. Yeah, ticks for print string. Never, ever, ever. Because basically what you're doing when you take delta seconds, um, and I know you probably know this. I just want to go ahead and clarify for anyone who's watching the video and may not know. So what tick is tick is what is called delta seconds, which is the difference in time between two frames. So if you're using tick, and let's say you have an old Apple II versus a new Alienware with a freaking 1080 NVIDIA GTX card and 32 cores and 6 million gigs of RAM, which is obviously a facetious number, but you get the point. The amount of frames that they can fit in per individual, like the amount of times that thing ticks is going to be significantly different based on the processor, based on what's going on. So the Apple II, it might be ticking at like 0.005, but the super awesome mega computer might be ticking at 0.000001. And so you've got a significant discrepancy between how quickly that thing's going, okay, new frame, new frame, new frame, new frame, new frame. If that makes sense. So the reason I am so incredibly opposed to tick is because you don't have any control over that variance. Now, you can do some things, like I believe in project settings. Is it in? No. I'm trying to remember exactly where it is, but there is a setting where you can kind of control your tick fire rate. But I'm not entirely sure that's dependable because I haven't personally used it. Um, and I wouldn't recommend that without me having gone and tried it personally. I can't, in good conscience, recommend you do that. Um, so, where was I going with this? I don't remember. Right. Anyways, so yeah, that's kind of my big stink about tick and why I don't think people should be using it, especially for movement, fire rates, anything like that. Like when you're using it for an endless runner and it's just ticking up the score, sure, that's fine. It's still going to end up moving the same distance eventually, anyways. But if you're actively using it to determine some type of combat mechanic, some type of jump, all this different things that can be dramatically affected by just simply how fast the frame rate is running, not highly recommended. Okay, now let me get back to what I was doing because I don't remember. Right. Okay. So we're going to be making a AI system. Blackboard. AIBB. That's right. AIBB. And oh, that actually, this needs to be AIBB. That needs to be AIBT. Okay, well, let's just call it AI. Rename this AI AIBT. Rename AIBB. In the Blackboard, I need a, just in case I need it, other actor, new key, vector, target location, instant sync, don't know what that is. Don't really need a parent, I suppose. Maybe, I don't know. Sure. There's been a lot of changes to the AI system since I used it last, so it might be a little weird. Okay, now I need to go and create a task, which is going to require blueprint, this. So what a task is, think of it exactly as it sounds. It's you set up a specific thing for your AI to do. Instead of going and trying to do all the functionality within one character, what you do is you set up these tasks, and these tasks are called by your behavior tree. And so what we're doing here is we're going to set up a simple moo, or actually, let's see, select location. The move to is actually going to be done differently, but okay. Add events, on event execute. Let's see. Set blackboard value as vector. Make vector. Nope, don't need that. Variable. Or sorry, promote. Blackboard key. Pile. Trying to remember everything I have to do because it's very confusing. And one of the reasons I don't do AI very often is simply because it's so different from what I'm used to. But I know I need to I need to expand my knowledge a little bit. Okay, so this is going to be BB key. Pile. There's another event that I could be using. Let's see, receive. If blueprint graph contains this event, task will stay active until finish abort is called. Let's see, entry point, task will stay active until finish execute is called. Then don't need receive tick. La 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 la. Where are my tasks? All kinds of task stuff. Value is going to be get player controller, get location, boom. So all this should be doing is we get the receive execute, set the blackboard value. I want to say there is something more that I'm supposed to be doing here. Well, we're going to test it and find out. And then finish execute. This is really, 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 really important. If you're doing a task, make sure to add the finish execute node so that it knows it is done. It does not read like a normal blueprint. It will not stop until you tell it to. So once you have done whatever your task is, whether it's success or failure, like if you need a flip-flop that's like a, succeed, fail, or you have actually a success condition and a failure condition, that is like the most important thing. Absolutely must have the information of finish, whether it is successful or not, if I remember correctly. Okay, so that's that. Now we need to open the behavior tree. Root. Let's see, we're going to go with selector.